Hey guys, so welcome to this module of the course. It is called Creating Killer Content, so let's jump into it. The contents of this module are going to be why it is important, posts and articles, how to use LinkedIn Publisher, what to write about, and when and how often to post. Why is content important? So you need to generate top-of-mind awareness and position yourself as an authority within your niche. To do this, you need to be frequently posting relevant value on your LinkedIn. So we've basically got two options. There are posts and articles. With a post, you have a 600 character limit. You can also use videos or images to supplement the post, so you can mix it up depending on whether you're promoting either branding for a client, for example, or it could be a podcast that you've done, or actually just directly posting a YouTube video, for example. In terms of articles, I would suggest minimum 300 words, but to be honest, if it's going to be 300 words or less, I wouldn't even put it into an article. You should be aiming for 1,000 words and up. Between 1,000 to 3,000 actually I've seen perform and get shared the best. Business professionals on LinkedIn prefer to read more in-depth pieces with actionable value. So somebody on LinkedIn is more likely to want to read a longer piece that they can really dig into, which explores a topic or subject in depth and allows them to take actionable advice from that to further them within their career. Within the article, so this is something that really helps with SEO, I would try and include anchor text. So internal anchor text is basically a clickable text in a hyperlink, which will send somebody reading it to another article that you have produced within LinkedIn, like within LinkedIn Publisher. You want to include it in relevant places. The more relevant it is, the more likely it's going to help with SEO and keyword ranking for your article. In terms of actually writing the article itself, I know a lot of the people that I work with are nervous. They don't feel like writing is their strong point. If you really feel uncomfortable with it, say you've given it a shot the first time, you don't feel like it's really awesome. Obviously you don't have to create amazing stuff, but it should make sense and read pretty well. But if it doesn't work for you, you can always outsource it to a freelance writer if you have the budget for it. I would personally recommend going on Upwork and finding a writer to do it for you. I would charge around, obviously it depends on the person and their budget and their rate, but personally I'd charge maybe around $500, maybe it depends on hours that it takes, but say for 4 articles and 12 posts throughout the month, I would say maybe around £500, $600, something like that. But obviously negotiate it with that person. If you've got referrals, that could be something else that they could do. But yeah, I would recommend outsourcing it if you have the budget to do so, and also if you need to save time if you're a slightly larger agency. So LinkedIn Publisher is basically an internal sort of hosting platform where you can post articles directly on LinkedIn. I would recommend starting all of your posting within LinkedIn itself, and then as you gain more traction, more traffic, more of a loyal audience base, I would actually say that you should maybe implement a blog section to your website if you have one, and send people to your website to help with SEO as well. So basically to do that, obviously this is where you can do an update over here, and then if you want to do an article, you click write an article on LinkedIn from your homepage, and it takes you over to LinkedIn Publisher, so LinkedIn Publishing. Over here you can basically add an image to the banner, create a headline, and this is where you insert your article. You can obviously add stuff here, so I click on that. So it's this little box with a plus. You can click on that if you want to add an image, a video, slide, a link. So if it was an anchor link, you would, for example, insert this link to the other blog post, and you could do it here, or you can also do this and add text to display. So if I wanted to send somebody to, say for anchor linking, if it's an article that I've written about branding, over the word branding, for example, I could add that in here and then paste the URL to the article about branding underneath, and then branding will show up as a hyperlink. They can click on it and then it will take them to the other URL over here. So I would recommend doing this if you're doing anchor linking, and then if you're doing normal URLs, like sending people to a different website, or you want to just have the link open, then I would use this section here. In terms of adding an image, I would recommend just creating yours on canva.com. So Canva looks like this. Basically what you'd want to do is create a design. Let's see if we have LinkedIn banner, 1,400 pixels. That should be around a similar size. If not, I would just Google. So dimensions, LinkedIn Publishing. So best header size is 600 by 322 pixels, or 2 times that size. So I would just go and select this and basically custom design on Canva. So if I wanted to change this, I could go home, create a design, custom dimensions, enter the size in pixels, click create a new design. It'll basically come up with a square. It would show up with this, and then basically I can upload an image, do whatever I want to do to it, customize it, personalize it, add my logo, whatever I want to do. I would recommend just putting it in Canva. If you have issues with that, I would just watch a YouTube tutorial. It's pretty straightforward once you grasp it, but yeah, basically use Canva, create a simple banner. Unless you outsource it to a content creator, you'll just have to provide images to them and then they'll do it for you. You want to have a banner in here, a catchy headline, and then just enter your article. I would also recommend at the bottom sort of signing it off. So I would write a brief sort of paragraph about yourself. If you have a problem with this, look on my profile, look at the articles that I've published, and if you just scroll to the bottom, you'll see the same thing every time, which basically talks about who I am, me being a consultant for LinkedIn, and then all of my social links will be, for example, it'll say connect with me on, and then it'll have, for example, LinkedIn. I'll paste my LinkedIn profile URL here, apply it, and then it'll be like LinkedIn, say Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I'll do all of these individually, not all in one. I'll do these all individually and add the URL for each of my socials, and then it basically allows more access for people to go from my article to other places that are basically going to social proof me and make me look more as an authority within the field. So that's kind of how LinkedIn publishing works. I hope that helped. In terms of what to write about, if you're outsourcing it, they'll probably still ask you to provide general topics and what you would like to speak about, so these points will also help you, but more so if you're going to be writing it yourself, take note of this, probably rewatch this module again, and it will take a little bit of time to feel comfortable and kind of let it come to you easily, but for now this is what I'm going to sort of walk you through. So this one does really well on LinkedIn, so industry trends and insights. People want to stay up to date, and it also helps show you and that you're ahead of the curve. So you want to be an industry thought leader. That's kind of what people call people on LinkedIn that are perceived as an authority within a niche. They're like thought leaders. So if you want to be a thought leader for your niche, you need to be keeping up with the industry trends and insights, sort of predicting what's going to work well, what's going to yield the best results for people, and advise them before anybody else does, and sort of stay on top of things. So industry trends and insights works really well. A way to find these out is basically just to Google, or as I will say later on, use Quora. The next one is how-to posts and top tips. These are just sort of attractive to the eye. I know if I see a how-to post or top tips for doing XYZ, it just seems very manageable and bite-sized. Like I can go on and it's sort of listed out as the actionable steps I need to put into place. So that works really well. Number 3, storytelling with a valuable takeaway. I would do these now and again. When you're first starting out, try and stick to how to post, top tips, industry trends and insights to sort of assert your authority. And then once you have more traction, storytelling can really help people connect with you as an individual, as long as you have a valuable takeaway included. So have a story, and then attached to that have some sort of value and like backup as to why the story was relevant to people reading that article. Lastly, use Quora for ideas, and use the article template below this video. So below there'll be a resource. Use the article template for structure guidance. With Quora, you can basically search a keyword or a topic. So for example, I could put gym marketing, and it will come up with loads of content that's been released which contain the words I've put in the search bar. So for example, what are the top 10 tips of gym marketing to increase more members? This is an example of a perfect kind of article headline, I guess. Top 10 tips, and it says what it's about and what it's going to help you do, so increase more members. I would go through these, not copy them, always try and have original content. Go through, see what type of headlines people have, see what type of insights people are offering, and see which ones have the best traction, and use this as a sort of source of inspiration for what you can base your content around. So that's kind of how Quora works. I know you can also sign up to email updates. So if you save topics, you can follow a topic. So for example, I could have LinkedIn marketing. I could follow LinkedIn marketing. How do I improve my social media presence? And every time that something else comes up within a certain topic that I follow, it will give me an alert. Normally it's like email alert. So every time you get an email, I would just sift through everything that's come up that's relevant to topics and sort of relevant information that you're following. go through it, pick out the best, most relevant pieces, and then use it to inspire yourself with your content as well. In terms of when and how often to post, bear in mind that most LinkedIn users treat the platform like an e-newspaper. So they're going to scroll through looking for enticing content to and from their way to work and also on their break, so mainly at lunchtime. I have found that during the week works best. Try to avoid weekends. Obviously, a lot of professionals don't want to work on the weekends. They want to spend time with their family and sort of switch off before Monday starts again. So during the week works best. I would say Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays perform the best between hours of 7 and 8 a.m., 12 o'clock noon, so lunchtime, and also 5 and 6 when people finish and they're commuting back from work. I would play around with a few times and see what works best with your target audience. Obviously, a few niches, maybe their times are slightly different, slightly flexible, people work from home. There could be so many factors, but I would start with these times as a guideline, and then if you want to play around with it, then obviously feel free. What I do personally, what I do for my clients, what I recommend to people that I work with is I recommend posting 3 short posts, so 3 updates and 1 article per week. It's a manageable amount, but it's still effective. It still helps you generate top of mind awareness. So do that. But I would also, top tip, spend a few hours a week doing this. Before I used to sort of write a post as and when on the day, and I know I'd spend way too long thinking about what I wanted to talk about. I would recommend setting aside maybe 2 hours on a Sunday, for example, picking a topic for each week, writing the article, and then from that article, I would pick out 3 pieces of valuable information. From those 3 pieces of valuable information, try and pose 3 questions to your target audience and post those as updates prior to that article being released. So just to reiterate, just to make that make sense, write your article first, pick out 3 core valuable pieces of information from that, and base 3 updates around it. With my updates, I like to keep them pretty short, say like 3-4 sentences, a very short paragraph. Provide some value and then pose a question. So this helps instigate people thinking about the question that you've asked, start thinking about the answers, self-reflect on them, their businesses, like marketing strategies, whatever you're trying to evoke as an emotion. And then when that article is released, they'll feel a sense of relief when they read it, and it will pose you more as an authority figure when you post that, which sort of answers the questions that they've been asking themselves all week. So yeah, that's kind of what I help works. That is everything for this module. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.